Hey, it's Dr. Future, your favorite slightly hood therapist. I'm going to do my best not to make this a long video, but it's going to be a little lengthy, so just ride with me a little bit, okay? So I was going down a rabbit hole of social media this morning, and somehow I found my way back to the movie Life. And I say back to because I've seen this movie like a jillion times, right? It's one of my favorites. The movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. The scene in particular that I was brought back to today was Miguel Nunez's character. Miguel Nunez played the guy named Biscuit, who was in a relationship with Bernie Mac's character. The scene in particular that is sticking out to me is when Biscuit gets his release letters and he's sitting around there at the barbecue or whatnot, and he's sitting around and he looks completely dejected, depressed, sad, and Eddie Murphy's asking him, like, you know, what's going on with you? He thought it was a whole jealousy thing, but he shows him his release papers. Biscuit shows Eddie the release papers, and he's like, this, you know, and Eddie Murphy's like, man, what's wrong with you? He didn't say mine. He said something else. I'm from Memphis, so I said mine. But he was like, you know, what's wrong with you? You getting out? And he's constantly trying to tell him why he should be happy about getting out. You know, saying things like anybody in your position would be happy, and you need to get over it, and you need to be happy, and, you know, trying to pump him up, giving him platitudes, trying to make him feel better. Even going so far as to tell him that, you know, it's a new day and age, 1945, and you can go home and be who you are, because part of Biscuit's issue was that he felt like he couldn't go home the way that he was. He clearly was a gay man, and he said, I can't go home to my mama like this. And Eddie's character was like, man, your mama would be happy to see you. You need to get it together. You need to be ready to go home. You got this. You know, pumping him up, and was like, I'm finna go kick it with old shorty over here, whatever verbiage he used. You be all right. And so Miguel Nunez puts on this face, and he's like, okay, all right. And so this is what I really want to talk about, this particular scene right here, because if you've seen the movie, then you know what happens next. If you haven't seen it, then go and watch the movie. I don't want to tell you what happens, but what I want to talk about here is how some of us, if we just took 60 seconds to not try and fix someone's problem or tell them how they feel, that you can take 60 seconds to make a connection with someone and give them that feeling of hope that they can come to a better decision. Because that's sometimes what they're looking for. No one needs you to tell them how to feel. And I get that there is this feeling of, well, you want someone else to feel happy, and you're trying to get them to look at the brighter side of things. In the moment, sometimes they don't need that. They are in a desperate space. They feel alone, and you invalidating how they feel and not even trying to understand how they feel only makes them feel even more alone, only makes them feel even more desperate, and can cause a person to make a permanent solution to a temporary problem, a permanent solution to a temporary feeling, okay? Let me rephrase that. The problem hasn't gone away, but that feeling of desperateness is temporary, and we could really help if we just didn't be dismissive with people, if we didn't give them platitudes, if we didn't say, just pray about it, okay? Let's work on taking 60 seconds out of all of the millions of seconds that you have in a day to just connect with another person, understand how they're feeling, and then when this person feels less desperate and when the fog has cleared and they can think clearly, then maybe solutions can be come to at that point. But I just thought that was That is an impactful scene for lots of reasons. I could make a whole nother video about what that feels like for incarcerated individuals in general, being prepared or trying to get prepared to come home to a world that they know nothing about, and how we don't help these people transition but expect them to be able-bodied, independent citizens of this great society. But I won't. I'll save it for another day.